Heather from booktubes, and today is my favorite novellas of 2021. I love novellas. I love short stories. I love short, quick reads. It honestly doesn't have anything to do with my Goodreads goal or the number of books that I read. It's just what I enjoy. I really like having those quick things. They're usually lower angst. They're usually just lighter and give me exactly what I want in a short period of time. And I have that satisfaction of having completed that story and not having it drag on and on, especially with things that frustrate me. So I absolutely love novellas. Here are some of my very favorite of the year. They are just kind of in chronological order that I read them. They are not ranked. First off is Hefty by Jessa Kane. This is a big burly guy, so he's a plus size, if you will, and this is a high school senior romance. He is in love with his sister's best friend. His sister's best friend is in love with him. The sister knows that she loves him, but she doesn't know that he loves her. He is a linebacker on the football team. She's a cheerleader. He's absolutely convinced that she would never go for him. She thinks that he's a giant teddy bear who could protect her and make her feel safe and small and all the things, and just adores him. And they have a really sweet romance. There's some weird stuff. There's some smut. Obviously, it's Jessa Kane. There's definitely some things that would cross the line in real life. But ultimately, it's just a super sweet romance. And I loved reading about a bigger guy. This was my favorite bigger guy romance of the year. And I just wish we had more of them, to be honest. Next, I have Fire in His Fingertips, Volume 1 and 2, which is a manga. It is one of the ones that's like pure smut, so you see everything on page. Again, consent can be a thing because in their culture, they're not really supposed to have a sex drive or want sex, so they're not supposed to be enthusiastic consent partners. So that's how you can read the consent issues. And we have Friends, basically. He is a firefighter. He rescues her from a burning building and then takes care of her. It is hot. It is by far the most enjoyable manga that I read this year. I really, really loved it. Unfortunately, you can't get a digital copy, paperback only, but absolutely a delight. Just keep out of reach of children. Then I have Maybe Next Time, which is Vegas Nights #1 by Christina C. Jones. I loved all three in this novella trilogy about three different siblings, but this first one is arguably my favorite. In the first one, we have a husband who is served with divorce papers by his wife and is like, no, we are going to work this out, and kidnaps her and takes her on vacation until she loves him again. And this is Black love. You have a big content warning for miscarriage. That was what had kind of put their marriage on the rocks in the first place, was their grief and their reactions to it. Neither one of them handled it as well as maybe they should have, but there were definitely some mistakes made. And they still really love each other. And he was very alpha and was just like, no, I'm not letting you leave us because we should have never been destroyed in the first place, and I'm going to fix this. And also he threatens to shoot somebody for touching his wife, and I just love that. Next, I have Feed, which is Hunger Duet #1 by Aveda. It's also the first in their Fangs with Benefits series. So basically, Fangs with Benefits, it is a novella, a short story, which will be a prequel to a full-length novel. So Feed, its full-length novel is out. It came out in December. And then the next ones don't have their full-length novels yet, but another one of those is on the list. So Feed is a death hawkmoth fairy who is non-binary, gender fluid, and is kind of chaos a little bit. He's an artist and loves to get under the skin of the very uptight, prickly succubus who is hiding that she is a succubus, and the succubus accidentally orders him up on her Monstar app, which is basically feeding and taking care of the sexual appetites and stuff of monsters. And she, as a succubus, needs sexual energy to live, but can not be the safest because you can actually drain somebody of their life force. So she does it through this service, and she doesn't know that it's going to be him. He doesn't know that it's going to be her, and she could refuse him, but she decides to have him anyways. And they have a very hot night. And then the full-length one, we get to see the aftermath of that night. It is a freaky freaking delight. Smutty, emotional, their dialogue, divine. Consent is absolutely everything that you could ask for. So many different kinks. If you like degradation, if you like begging, if you like so many things, these are fantastic. But Feed is the novella prequel, and it will absolutely let you know whether you like it or not. The next one is Skin, which is Fangs with Benefits #2 by Aveda. So this is another one of the prequel novellas, although its full length isn't out. This is between a banshee and a gargoyle who are partners, and they are investigators, and she can touch anything and she will know all of its history, right? So that's obviously very useful in an investigation, but also kind of slowly kills her. So not great. And then the gargoyle is so protective. Not only can he turn his skin to stone and literally protect her from a hail of bullets, but he also doesn't like when she's reckless or not safe, and he just absolutely adores her. Well, and all the time that they've been partners, they've never touched skin to skin, because if she touches somebody's skin to skin, she knows everything about them. It's very overwhelming. They're attached for all of eternity. It's a lot for her. So she obviously goes around trying not to touch anything. She has a special suit that she wears all the time. They touch for the first time, and she finds out that way buried deep under, he is attracted to her. And she's like, look, I can't sleep with anybody without creating this eternal bond that I don't want, unless I go back to one of my exes, which I don't want. You want me. I want you. We already accidentally had the connection. What if we did this? And she's like this big and he's like giant, and they make it work, and he does praise kink, and it is so good. He's so protective and sweet and just absolutely phenomenal. Then I have Evil Twin by Kaylee Wilde. This is some really fun smut in it. It is a fantasy romance novella. He is the evil twin of the king. The king is a piece of garbage, but his parents asked him specifically not to kill his brother for being a twerp. So obviously he must be the evil one. He's the very respected general of the kingdom, and he has a plan. His brother has brought a princess to marry, so his plan is he'll seduce the princess, he will take her virginity, the royal family will walk in on him taking her virginity, and his brother will not want her because he's had her first, and then he'll get to rule her kingdom, and he won't have to kill his brother, he won't have to work for his brother, but he'll have his own kingdom. So that's his plan. It worked out perfectly. And then it's the two of them not quite knowing whether to trust each other or what's happening. Good communication though, low angst. And them trying to figure out how to run their kingdom and what to do with all these things. And there's like an evil sorcerer. So many witty quotes, such great humor, smut. The characters absolutely just adored it. Loved it. If you like fantasy at all, try this one. It's so much fun. And I have Green-Eyed Monster by Elsie Winters. I loved this one. So we have an orc. They are naturally very possessive and jealous. However, he's actually a nerd, and he's so cute and sweet, and he is very considerate and really tries to keep a leash on his jealous, possessive tendencies. And he rescues a little fairy elf person who's about to be crushed by a wall at their university, and they're friends, lovers. They both really want to be with each other and can't tell if the other one's just being nice or not, and it's so cute and sweet. It made me smile so big. I just really, a breath of fresh air and absolute delight. If you want a pick-me-up, this is the perfect novella. And I have Games We Play, which is One Night #1 by Dana Isley. This is corpse husband fanfiction is what it reads as. You have a very deep voiced gamer that nobody knows his face, and he wears a mask for all of his dreams and stuff. And we have this reporter who had to sign an NDA. She comes to interview him, and he kind of seduces her, and they have one night together. And there are so many kinks in this. There's like a different kink every 2 pages, including pet play, but I didn't think it was too much, honestly. A lot of stuff. And then they go to his club, and you meet all of his friends who had their own books coming out. The second book is coming out in January. I can't wait. But there is one scene around the 80% mark where you have her telling him about her past, which is a big content warning. It is attempted suicide. It's described pretty graphically. It really doesn't vibe with the rest of the novella. If you read it, either be prepared for that, plan on skimming it, whatever. The rest of the book is an absolute delight, and then you have that one scene, which I would tell you to proceed with caution. Then I have The Devil's Bargain by Ryan Fox. This is a male breeding kink with a demon. So we have this Black nerd who is just like so dignified and sweaters and stuff, and he's like middle-aged, I would say, and he is at this auction and there's a grimoire and he has to buy the grimoire and he spends all this money on it, and then he summons a demon who breeds him and then they live happily ever after. It was great. I don't know what to tell you. I really loved the writing. I loved the atmosphere. I loved the smut. I loved all of it. I read another book by this author under a different pen name. Really enjoying them. Follow them on Twitter. Fantastic. Then I have Sing Me to Sleep by RM Virtues. This is a paralysis sleep demon with consensual non-consent. You have a main character who's been having terrible sleep issues ever since there was a home invasion and her father was killed in the room next to her, and so she's just not doing well at all. Finally, the sleep paralysis demon comes. At first she's terrified, but he finds that he doesn't want her fear, he wants her pleasure. And she's saying no, but he actually cannot touch her unless she wants it. So it is completely consensual. There's actually quite a bit of plot in this one. You have the demons trying to go against the angels. The angels are changing the rules and are trying to take more and more. And the human's not safe and the demon's not safe. And how will they be okay? With a lot of really fantastic consensual non-consent, which is my favorite kink. So I loved this one and am really looking forward to other books in the series coming out. And then lastly, I have The Demon Next Door by Chase Verity. Was that 3 demons in a row? Yes, it was. Am I sorry? No, obviously not. The Demon Next Door is a delight. It is a single demon dad moves in next door to a single mom, and he's so formal and polite and funny, and he's very protective of her, and their children become best friends. And he does everything he can to help her, and she does everything she can to help him, and she and her son are some of the few humans who can actually see the demons for what they are, and they have a lovely relationship. And also the shadows are kinky too. So you have that to look forward to. It was just so good. It was so good. It made me so happy reading it, and I loved it. So that's it. Those are my very favorite novellas of 2021. They were just some of the absolute highlights of my year, and I adored all of them. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you're going to read any of these. I really highly recommend, and if you have any similar novellas that you'd like to recommend to me, I'm literally always looking for really good, quick, low angst reads. My problem is the darker or angstier reads on my TBR list last forever because I have to be in like just the right mood to read them, and my low angst easy reads get read right away. So I'm literally always out of them. I always need more because I don't save them for a rainy day. I use them all up. Mistakes were made. I need more. So please recommend them to me if you have them. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.